Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm Maud, and tonight we're having Unholy Altar, a raw black metal band hailing from Philadelphia, USA. And I'm so glad and so happy to have them with me tonight because I'm a huge fan, huge fan, as you can see. And well, good night, guys. Good evening. How are you?
Good. We're good. Yeah. How about yourself?
Fine. Thank you. Better than okay. Thanks. Can you introduce yourselves and tell me what your role is in the band, if you don't mind?
My name is Adrian, aka Desecrator, and I'm the vocalist.
I'm Gabby, aka Measurer, and I'm one of the guitarists.
I'm Matt, Evoke Damnator, and I'm also a guitarist.
Excellent. Thank you. And how did Unholy Altar come together in 2021? And what was the vision you set out to achieve as a band?
So, so when we started originally the band, it was just Gabby and myself. We were in like a couple other bands a couple years ago, but we didn't ever really get to like truly like exercise our love of black metal. So we got 3 more friends, one being Matt, involved, and it kind of picked up from there. We didn't really have like a huge vision for the band. It was just like we wanted to play a genre we were really excited about and we were passionate about, and that's kind of just how it happened.
Okay. And your music delves into themes of hell, cultism, anguish, and death. And what inspired you to explore those subjects, and how do they shape your creative process?
So for me, a lot of the lyrics come from like I write a lot of like poetry, so a lot of the lyrics were from poetry I wrote and kind of like manipulated into songs. And the lyrics, like the writing process for me is very like therapeutic. Like a lot of it's kind of like pent up anger I'm getting out in the lyrics, and then some of it's involving like death and like occultism, which is kind of just aspects of like morbid curiosity of the subject and kind of like exploring that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything to add? No.
I would say in regards to writing the music, we're just very inspired when we listen to other bands that we've always been like heavily influenced by. Also, a lot of it is inspired by nature and art and things like that. And then just general emotions in general. So anger, sadness, things like that heavily inspire us.
Yeah, I would say just the emotional aspect is very important to when we're writing music, because a lot of times when we start writing riffs, you have to be in a specific headspace to get where you want to with the music.
Mm-hmm. And you were talking about influences. What are your musical influences?
We're very like huge in like heavily influenced by like 90s Scandinavian black metal. So like Immortal, Satyricon, Gorgoroth, Dark Throne. Some also like basically like first and second wave black metal is what influences us. You guys have
I'm like a huge like Sam Isle fan, and
Venom is a big one.
Yeah, Celtic Frost. Me and Nat, the drummer, will like cover like Hellhammer, Celtic Frost, and Sarcophago songs, just the 2 of us, and that's like a huge influence on what we do musically. And also we all listen to a lot of Death Doom and Funeral Doom, and even though our music's a lot faster than that, just to hear from that is
we
very
actually
important.
Also really like Bathory too. Like whenever we first started the band, we were doing a cover of 13 Candles by Bathory, so that's always been a huge influence as well.
Okay. Oh, wow. So very classic black metal.
Yeah.
And still, you have your own sound, and it's very surprising because yes, I can hear some influences, but still, your personality is very unique.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the tracks on Veil of Death, I'm going to talk about your new album. The tracks on Veil of Death, Shroud Shroud of Night features powerful titles like Infernal Flash and Sin Here that I really like. And can you walk us through your songwriting process for this album?
So lyric wise for me, songwriting is like a very intimate process. Specifically with like Veil of Death. Basically, I would like sit in like a dark room with like candles lit around me, and kind of like envision what I was going to write. It's like we were saying about headspace. You have to be in the right headspace to like write that kind of song. I was listening to a lot of like DSBM bands at the time and like a lot of funeral doom, and that kind of put me in a space of like what kind of music I wanted to write. That
You have, you want to express
If
how
you have any insight or yeah.
Well, I was new to the band when most of the album was written, so Gabby had like written most of the riffs, but I think, I mean, I may be wrong, but
Yeah.
you guys were saying that before I joined, there was kind of like a time where you guys were struggling to continue on, and I think when I joined, I came in with Nefarious, and started adding leads and different aspects to some of the songs that had already been written, which helped us to get the end product.
Yeah, we kind of had more of when we first started out, it was almost like black and punk. When we started out, we had a lot more of a punk influence, but now we're kind of like delving. I feel like with Veil of Death, it kind of slid more into just, we still have a little bit of a punk influence, but it's more in the black metal, realm.
Absolutely. There's a big link between punk and black metal, in my opinion. It's like the sound, the raw sound is very close.
Yeah.
How do you balance the aggression and the atmosphere that are so crucial to your sound, especially in tracks like Black Winds of Nocturnal Dismay?
I know for me specifically that song, it's from like a very aggressive place. It's somewhat spawned off of like one of our unreleased songs that we play live. So I would say with the lyrics and the vocals, it leans more towards like, I don't know, atmospheric patterns to even it out, because it kind of has a little bit of aggression and it kind of has a little bit of atmosphere. So we just try to like out so it kind of marries the two together. What about y'all?
Yeah, I think I began the songwriting process on that song, and I just remember it coming from a place of I was feeling very like angry and feeling a lot of aggression, and I wanted to get it out musically. So I just started with the beginning riff, even though it's like kind of a slower, sad type of riff. I just was like, I can make this into something that sounds way more powerful and strong and angry. But I just like that it started out kind of in a sad manner, but went into like anger. So I like channeled it into that sort of a realm.
Okay. Okay. So you're talking a lot about anger. So what's the conduct of this anger?
I guess it's like different stuff,
Yeah.
Some personal things, kind of also like the state of the world that can also influence it. We don't really delve into politics like that much in our music, but I mean, with a lot of the stuff going on in the world, like especially today, there's a lot of stuff to be angry about. So,
Yeah,
it's like not only
yes.
yeah. So like not only things going on in our personal life that's just like channeling it into something to make it more of a positive, but then it's just like, it's just the world is shit right now. So it's like good place to black metal music because we're very angry,
Exactly.
And okay, what are some of the musical and non-musical, well, we talked about the musical, but non-musical influences that have shaped Unholy Altar's sound and thematic direction?
So I would say like we were talking about like being outdoors in nature and stuff like that. All of us really like, I know it kind of sounds weird, but all of us really like going hiking and like exploring and like, I don't know, doing stuff like that. So like in nature really like helps us also create music and stuff like that. Just going out and like just seeing stuff outside. I don't know. Like, what would you all say?
Yeah, I would say, and specifically Pennsylvania too. It's very dark and dreary here a lot of the times, especially in winter. You get a lot of cold, dark days, so that's like a very heavy influence for us. And just seeing how things are in nature is like a very heavy influence for me.
Okay. And do you have any? I mean, you're doing the artwork, I think, for the albums, Mr. Rere.
Yep. I have done the artwork for the album, and I designed the long sleeve shirt as well that we just came out with. That's my design. So
yeah, we really enjoy her artwork. So we were like, you know what? I think it'd be really cool if we had someone in the band like make some of our artwork and our shirts and stuff like that. And I think it turned out really well. It really, like, the album really, I don't know, like when you listen to the music, the album cover is just like, it just fits so perfectly. Like, it makes sense.
Absolutely. It's so good, and it's the mix is excellent. And since your 2022 demo to your full-length album now in 2024, how do you feel the band has evolved both musically and thematically?
Yeah, so I guess like one of the things I was mentioning before about us being kind of more kind of punk influenced, but still, you know, like black metal, that was one of the things I think that definitely transitioned from 2022 to 2024. Like, our vibes like slightly different with the band. Just we're like way more like serious about things. And also our self-titled demo was literally recorded in the basement of our house. And like with we had another guitarist in the band at the time. So it's like, and we just did this really raw primal sound. We were literally like, hey, this can be like, the person that was recording, I was like, we can make this as shitty as we want. Like, we want it to be really raw and primal and not like super like, I don't know, professional sounding, you know? So, and then our like Matt joined the band, and then we have our bassist Abby, and they've kind of given us like a deeper tone and overall completely like more intricate riffs and stuff like that. It's and yeah, like I said, we've just gotten a little bit more serious about like what we want to do with the band and everything like that.
Okay. And you've recently worked with Liminal Dread Productions for Veil of Death, Shroud of Night. What was the experience like, and how has it impacted the band's journey?
So we're going to turn that question over to Matt, because he is that runs it.
I actually run the label with.
Oh.
With my
I didn't know. So big surprise to me. Thank you.
And the artwork, the label, everything's you know involved with the band.
That's actually how I met them. Was originally I reached them to interview them for a magazine we did with the label, and we hit it off there. And then when the album came out and I was in the band, it was like a no-brainer that we would just put it out through the label. So we did the cassette through the label, and the artwork was done by Gabby, like the inner artwork and the outside, and it was just put together by Michael, and like the cassette came out really awesome. And then we also work with another friend's label, Fiat, who just did the vinyl, and the vinyl looks sick. It's like probably one of the coolest things we have out right now.
Yeah, but we were like really stoked to work with Liminal Dread, not only because we're friends with Michael and obviously like Matt's in our band and everything, but it's like we like the overall message of the label and what they stand for. And then also they are really good with like promoting bands and like helping them out with whatever they need, you know, so that's something that's really important to us.
Yeah, it's been a really good experience.
Great experience.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And that's excellent, and that's a good evolution. That's wonderful. And so you've got a lot of members in the band, and each member brings unique skills and experience to the band. Or do you collaborate as a group to create a unified yet distinctive sound?
Do you want me to answer this one?
Well, I was just gonna say that typically it always starts with the riffs. You know, either me and Gabby come up with a riff by ourselves or together, and then we have an idea for what we want the song to sound like, and we bring it to Nat, the drummer, and Nat is like a lot of times like we try and do like some slower stuff, but then Nat comes in and is like a very much a punk drummer, and like there's like really fast stuff, and it changes the vision a lot, which is awesome because it allows us to see a different viewpoint of what we originally happened. So it's a really cool, unique experience to start out with something going one way and have it not change completely, but go in another direction that you didn't even think could happen. It's really cool to see it all come together.
Yeah, and usually after that, it goes through our bassist, Abby, and then I'm usually the last puzzle piece. I usually hear the song, and that's what inspires me to start working on the lyrics.
Oh, and this creator as the vocalist.
Yes,
How
yes.
do you approach embodying the themes of anguish and death in your performances? And to the instrumentalist, or do you create a sonic backdrop that complements such intense emotions?
So like every performance for me is somewhat like a ritual. Like when I get on stage, it's kind of like a different version of myself, kind of like a feral or manic version of myself. And I don't like to be stationary on stage. I like to move around a lot and kind of give like a visual representation of the feelings for each of the songs. Kind of like I'm almost like trying to express like I'm almost like possessed up there, and I think it's like a really good moment that I get to share with the crowd.
Yeah, I think that was one of the important things that we talked about even when we started the band, is how much we wanted the main singer to kind of almost have a performance for people to watch. I know when I go see bands and the bands are kind of just, it is great when they're stationary sometimes, but I would say I'm even more like entertained, and I feel a type of experience when I see the singer like engaging and acting as if they're like performing the songs, like it's coming through them. And that's what I really like about the vocals that she does.
Mm-hmm.
So can I say that your performances are like rituals?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can feel that in the theme, and it's I've never seen you on stage, but I would love to. Anyway, I have that feeling. Really, it's like even when I'm listening to the albums, and I have that kind of thing, and I need that visual, and like, okay, so thank you. You're filling up my imagination about that. So yes, what challenges have you faced as an independent black metal band, and how have you overcome them to keep your vision alive? Much more from your beginnings.
Yeah, I would say we have experienced a little bit of hardship in this genre, and I think that's just like a given, especially being some women in the band, some non-binary people. I feel like that's sometimes that a lot of people have a hard time accepting that in this genre. So I'd say that's kind of been one of the challenges that we've faced.
Okay, yeah, it's quite unusual, still unusual, unfortunately, to have like females in black metal bands. It's still a very masculine genre, and I'm glad you exist. It's very unusual, it's very rare, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and more on that too. I feel like we are very much like we love to be able to like represent people that do want to see like people like us like in a band like of the genre, but like also at the same time it's like we do want people to focus on like our music as a whole and be like they're musicians playing black metal, and like focus on that. That's our main priority as a band, just to like play music that we enjoy playing, and hopefully people will like it. It's like it's not like, oh, we're gonna like be like, okay, this is like a very important part. I mean, it is a very important part of the band, but the music comes first.
Absolutely. And looking ahead, what are your goals for Unholy Altar for 2025 and beyond? Can fans expect new music, live shows, or collaborations?
So as for new music, we're actually going to be in the studio next month. We're recording a new EP. Very excited about that, and I think we're going to probably have it by summer, so hopefully it'll be out by then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
You're fast.
yeah. So it's like we also have some tours coming up. Don't have like full details on it, but that will be coming up pretty soon. We also have 2 like local shows coming up we could plug. Like we have one on March 9th. This is all in Philadelphia, but one on March 9th with this band Haunter from California, and then on April 26th we're playing with our friends in Festergore and Skulovich. So those will be 2 cool shows. And then of course the big one, April 4th, we're playing Decibel's Metal and Beer Fest, which we're totally over the moon about, very excited about, and that's like pretty much our plans in a nutshell. So I guess we do have quite a few things coming up,
That sounds great. And I would love to see you playing in Montreal. We have a great festival here. I don't know if you heard about Mes des Morts, but it's very excellent. We have very bands from Quebec, but from all around the world, and we have very classic and very influential bands as well. And I would love to see you there. I hope it'll happen someday.
Yeah, we're Canada and specifically Montreal because I've been up there before and I have a few friends that live up that way. So we're like really definitely near the top of the list to get up there at some point. You know?
We have a big scene over there, and we have many bands, and even still in my neighborhood in Hochelaga, we have so many bands, and it's very exciting. Anyway, so our interview is coming to an end. Would you like to add anything for your listeners?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's like just come see us at the Decibel Fest. Yeah. That's gonna be like a huge thing for us and super excited about. So like if anybody wants to come out and like support us, that would be sick.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me today, and I wish you the best. And I love your music, and can count on me for the rest of your journey if you need anything from me.
For sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.